Imagine standing on a quiet beach along America's Atlantic coast. The waves look peaceful. Families are swimming. Fishing boats drift across the horizon. But thousands of feet below the surface, where sunlight has never reached, creatures unlike anything from a horror movie are silently hunting. One of them has jaws that shoot forward faster than you can blink. Another can glow in complete darkness. Some have remained hidden from science for centuries, while others are so rarely seen that each discovery makes headlines around the world. Today, we're diving into the deepest waters off the United States Atlantic coast to uncover the rarest sharks ever found in American waters. These are not the great whites you've seen on television. These are the ocean's true ghosts. And the deeper we go, the stranger they become. By the end of this video, you'll discover why scientists still struggle to understand these incredible predators and why some experts believe we have explored less of the deep Atlantic than the surface of the moon. Let's descend into the darkness. Chapter 1: The Goblin Shark. America's Deep Sea Nightmare. More than 1,000 feet beneath the Atlantic Ocean, far beyond where sunlight disappears, a living fossil patrols the darkness. Meet the Goblin Shark. At first glance, it hardly looks real. Its pale pink skin almost appears transparent. Its long blade-like snout extends far beyond its mouth, giving it an appearance unlike any other shark on Earth. But its most terrifying feature remains hidden until the moment it attacks. Instead of lunging like most predators, the goblin shark launches its jaws forward with incredible speed. The entire jaw shoots outward from its skull like a spring-loaded trap, grabbing prey before snapping back into place. It is one of the fastest feeding mechanisms ever recorded in a shark. Scientists have spent years studying this remarkable attack, yet engineers still struggle to recreate such a precise biological design using modern robotics. Although goblin sharks are found across the world's deep oceans, some of the most important American discoveries have come from the Atlantic coast of the United States. Researchers have documented goblin sharks in deep waters off Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, where underwater canyons plunge thousands of feet into the Atlantic. These cold, high-pressure environments provide the perfect habitat for a predator that has spent millions of years avoiding the surface. Most people living along the East Coast will never see one. Commercial fishermen occasionally pull one from deep-sea fishing lines, often believing they have caught an alien creature instead of a shark. Marine scientists quickly rush to examine every specimen because each encounter provides valuable information about one of the least understood predators in the Atlantic. What makes this shark even more extraordinary is its history. Long before humans built cities, before dinosaurs ruled the earth, the ancestors of the goblin shark were already swimming through ancient oceans. Modern scientists often call it a living fossil because its body has changed very little over more than 100 million years. Imagine looking into the eyes of a predator whose family survived mass extinctions that wiped out countless other species. Yet despite its frightening appearance, the goblin shark poses almost no threat to humans. It prefers complete darkness, rarely approaches shallow water, and spends nearly its entire life hunting fish, squid, and deep-sea crustaceans far below the reach of divers. Its frightening face hides a surprisingly peaceful existence. But don't let that fool you. Because even deeper beneath the Atlantic, another mysterious shark waits in the darkness. Unlike the goblin shark, this next species wasn't built to chase prey. Instead, it opens an enormous mouth and silently filters the ocean itself. And despite growing larger than many cars, most Americans have never even heard its name. The Megamouth Shark. The Atlantic's gentle giant. Just when you think the goblin shark is the strangest creature hiding beneath the Atlantic, another giant emerges from the darkness. Unlike every terrifying predator you've imagined, this shark doesn't hunt seals. It doesn't chase fish. It doesn't even need razor-sharp teeth. Instead, it swims slowly through the black water with its enormous mouth wide open, quietly filtering tiny sea creatures from the ocean. This is the Megamouth Shark. It is one of the rarest sharks ever discovered on Earth. For most of human history, nobody even knew it existed. Scientists officially identified the species only in 1976 after an enormous shark became tangled in deep-sea equipment near Hawaii. The discovery shocked marine biologists because such a massive animal had remained completely unknown to science. Since then, only a small number of megamouth sharks have ever been recorded worldwide. Although sightings are incredibly rare, researchers have confirmed that megamouth sharks also travel through the western Atlantic Ocean. They are believed to move through deep offshore waters along the eastern coast of the United States, especially near Florida and the Gulf Stream, where nutrient-rich currents attract enormous amounts of plankton. That makes the American Atlantic one of the few places where this mysterious giant may quietly pass beneath fishing boats without anyone ever knowing. Growing up to 18 feet long, the megamouth is impossible to miss once it reaches the surface. Its oversized head dominates nearly one-third of its body. At first glance, its mouth looks frightening enough to swallow a person whole. But appearances can be deceiving. Inside that giant mouth are rows of tiny teeth that play almost no role in feeding. Instead, the shark swims with its mouth open, allowing seawater to flow through special filtering structures that trap microscopic plankton, jellyfish, and tiny shrimp. It's a feeding strategy more similar to a whale than a typical shark. Even more fascinating is its daily routine. During daylight hours, the megamouth remains hidden thousands of feet below the Atlantic, where sunlight never reaches. As darkness falls, it slowly rises toward the surface to feed, following billions of tiny glowing organisms that migrate upward every night in one of the largest animal movements on Earth. Scientists call this the vertical migration, and the megamouth follows it with remarkable precision. This nightly journey explains why the shark is almost never seen. By the time most people wake up, it has already disappeared back into the deep. Marine researchers still know surprisingly little about its behavior. No one knows exactly how long it lives. Its breeding grounds remain unknown. Scientists have never observed one giving birth in the wild. Every encounter with a megamouth shark becomes an important scientific event because each sighting reveals another piece of a puzzle that remains largely unsolved. Imagine discovering an animal larger than a pickup truck that science still barely understands. That is exactly what makes the megamouth one of the ocean's greatest mysteries. But if you think this gentle giant is unusual, the next shark is even stranger. Hidden in the deep Atlantic is a shark so small and so mysterious that most Americans have never heard its name. Yet its body produces its own light in complete darkness, turning it into one of the few glowing sharks on Earth. And once scientists finally captured it, they realized the deep Atlantic was hiding another incredible secret. The Kitefin Shark. The shark that glows in complete darkness. As the megamouth shark disappears back into the endless blackness, another predator silently takes its place. But this one doesn't rely on speed. It doesn't depend on powerful jaws. Instead, it carries something that seems almost impossible. It creates its own light. Deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, more than 3,000 feet below the surface, sunlight completely disappears. The water becomes pitch black, and every movement is hidden in darkness. Yet one shark has evolved to shine where nothing else can. Meet the Kitefin Shark. Scientists have confirmed this remarkable species in deep waters of the North Atlantic, including offshore areas along the eastern United States. It has been recorded near the continental slope stretching from the mid-Atlantic toward the waters off New England, where the ocean floor drops into vast underwater canyons. For decades, researchers believed only a few deep-sea fish could produce light. Then they discovered something extraordinary. The Kitefin shark is the largest known glowing vertebrate on Earth. Its belly is covered with thousands of tiny light-producing organs called photophores. These microscopic structures emit a soft green glow that blends perfectly with the faint light filtering down from above. Instead of making the shark easier to see, the glow actually makes it almost invisible. This clever survival strategy is known as counter-illumination. Predators looking upward cannot distinguish the shark from the dim light above, allowing it to disappear in plain sight. Imagine swimming through complete darkness while your own body acts like the perfect camouflage. Nature designed this long before humans invented stealth technology. Although the Kitefin shark usually grows between 5 and 6 feet long, it is a fearless predator. Its sharp teeth easily slice through fish, squid, and smaller sharks living in the deep Atlantic. Scientists are still studying how this incredible shark controls its glowing skin, and many believe its secrets could inspire future advances in underwater technology. Even today, every deep-sea expedition has the chance to reveal something entirely new about this mysterious hunter. But glowing isn't the only strange survival trick hidden beneath America's Atlantic coast. Far below the Kitefin shark lives another predator that seems frozen in time. It moves so slowly that many creatures never realize danger is approaching until it's far too late. Chapter 4, The Portuguese Dogfish. The silent hunter of the Atlantic. If the deep Atlantic has a true phantom, it may be the Portuguese dogfish. Unlike famous sharks that dominate television documentaries, this mysterious predator spends almost its entire life hidden in darkness hundreds or even thousands of feet beneath the waves. Researchers have documented Portuguese dogfish throughout the North Atlantic, including offshore waters from the southeastern United States to New England. They are especially common along steep underwater slopes where cold currents carry an endless supply of prey. At first glance, this shark doesn't appear dangerous. Most adults measure only about 3 feet long. Its body is slender. Its movements are slow and almost effortless. But appearances are incredibly deceptive. The Portuguese dogfish is an efficient nighttime predator. Its large eyes are specially adapted to detect the faintest traces of light in the deep ocean. When small fish or squid drift too close, the shark strikes with surprising speed before disappearing back into the darkness. One remarkable feature sets this species apart from many other sharks. Its liver is enormous, making up nearly 1/4 of its entire body weight. Filled with lightweight oils, this massive liver acts like a natural flotation device, allowing the shark to glide through deep water while using very little energy. It is an elegant solution to surviving in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Scientists continue discovering Portuguese dogfish during deep-sea surveys along America's Atlantic continental slope. Each expedition reveals just how little we truly know about life beneath the surface. Even after decades of exploration, new behaviors continue to surprise researchers. But the next shark is even older. Much older. It has cruised the Atlantic Ocean for centuries, silently witnessing history unfold above the waves. Some of these incredible animals were already alive before the United States became an independent nation. And their story is almost impossible to believe. The Bluntnose Sixgill Shark. The ancient giant beneath America. The deeper scientists explore the Atlantic Ocean, the more it begins to resemble another world. Nearly a mile beneath the surface, where crushing pressure and freezing temperatures make survival almost impossible, an ancient predator slowly patrols the seafloor. This is the Bluntnose Sixgill Shark. Unlike most sharks, which have 5 gill slits, this massive hunter has 6. That single extra gill is a clue to its ancient ancestry. Marine biologists believe the Sixgill's body has changed very little over millions of years, making it one of the most primitive sharks still alive today. Along the United States Atlantic coast, Sixgill sharks have been recorded in deep offshore waters from Florida to New England. They are especially associated with steep underwater canyons and the edge of the continental shelf, where the ocean suddenly plunges into darkness. Most people never realize these giants are swimming far below them. Adult Sixgill sharks can grow over 16 feet long and weigh well over 1,000 pounds. Despite their enormous size, they are rarely seen because they spend most of their lives in deep water. Unlike fast predators such as the mako shark, the Sixgill is patient. It glides silently through the darkness, conserving energy until the perfect opportunity appears. Its diet is incredibly varied. It feeds on fish, squid, rays, smaller sharks, and even the remains of whales that sink to the ocean floor. In the deep Atlantic, nothing goes to waste, and the Sixgill plays an important role in keeping this hidden ecosystem healthy. Occasionally, researchers attach satellite tags to these sharks and discover something fascinating. Under the cover of night, some sixgills slowly rise toward shallower water before returning to the depths at sunrise. Scientists believe they follow prey that migrates upward every evening. Even after decades of research, many questions remain unanswered. Where do they give birth? How far do they travel? How many still roam the deep Atlantic? Every expedition uncovers new clues, reminding us that America's offshore waters still hold countless mysteries waiting to be explored. But even this ancient giant is overshadowed by one final legend. A shark so extraordinary that some of its relatives were already alive when the first European settlers arrived in North America. Chapter 6, The Greenland Shark. The oldest living shark on Earth. Imagine looking into the eyes of an animal that may have been born before the invention of the telescope. It sounds impossible. Yet deep within the cold waters of the North Atlantic lives a shark that can survive for centuries. Meet the Greenland shark. Although it is most commonly found in the icy waters of Greenland and eastern Canada, scientists have also documented Greenland sharks in the northwestern Atlantic, occasionally reaching waters connected to the northeastern United States through deep, cold ocean currents. This slow-moving giant is unlike any other shark on Earth. It cruises through freezing water at an almost unbelievable pace, often moving slower than a person walking down the street. But in the deep ocean, patience is a powerful weapon. Instead of chasing prey, the Greenland shark quietly approaches fish, seals, and other marine animals before striking with surprising force. Its appearance is just as mysterious. Many Greenland sharks carry tiny parasites attached to their eyes, leaving some individuals partially blind. Yet they continue navigating the dark Atlantic with remarkable precision, relying on their incredible sense of smell to locate food. Then came the discovery that stunned the scientific world. Using advanced dating techniques, researchers estimated that some Greenland sharks can live for nearly 400 years. That makes them the longest living vertebrates ever discovered. Think about what that means. One shark swimming through the Atlantic today may have already been alive before George Washington was born. It may have silently witnessed the rise of nations, the age of wooden sailing ships, 2 world wars, and the arrival of modern technology, all while remaining hidden beneath the waves. Very few people will ever see one in the wild. Its remote habitat, slow lifestyle, and incredible lifespan make it one of the greatest mysteries of the Atlantic Ocean. And perhaps that is the most fascinating truth of all. The United States Atlantic coast is famous for its beaches, fishing, and summer vacations. But far beyond the shoreline lies a hidden world that remains almost completely unexplored. A world where glowing sharks drift through total darkness, ancient giants patrol underwater canyons, and living fossils continue a journey that began millions of years before humans ever existed. The next time you stand beside the Atlantic Ocean, remember this. Beneath the waves, thousands of feet below your feet, some of the rarest and most extraordinary sharks on Earth are still there. Waiting in the darkness.